All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Coming to you live from outside again in the backyard. Beautiful day here in California again. Plenty of blue sky, plenty of sunshine. It's 81 degrees right now, according to my weather app on my phone. And it's just a gorgeous, beautiful day. And very, very thankful to have made it to see it and enjoy it. Sounds like the chickens next door are enjoying this warmer weather as well. So we got Nash outside, took his cone off. He seems to be able to be managing not licking his paw since getting his nail removed. And he's out on the grass pad right now, eating grass. Hey, we got LBV in the house. My friend LBV. Welcome, man. Happy Tuesday. LBV says, how's it going, sir? It's going good, man. Going good. Enjoying this beautiful weather. It's warmer now. Not used to it because we've been getting a lot of rain and cooler weather, but it's a lot warmer now. Today's it's 81 degrees today. So a lot warmer than what we've been used to these past weeks here in California. And of course, already we're like, man, it's getting kind of warm, huh? It's feeling kind of warm, huh? Yeah. And it's just the beginning. So as most of you know, the first day of spring was on the 20th, so just a few days ago. And so we're just now getting into spring and not yet in summer, obviously, but it's a nice preview of what hopefully spring is going to be like in summer. And so now that I'm here in Napa, it gets a lot warmer than where I was living in Windsor. So out here sometimes, from what I've heard from customers over at my new job, working out in the yard, I get to see a lot of people. And what I've been told is that out here it gets to upwards of 120 degrees at some points, which is pretty damn hot. I'm used to high 90s, low hundreds, like maybe 103, 102. So I'm very curious of what the summer's going to be like here in Napa, but I know it's going to be a lot warmer because we're basically here in the valley. So it's going to be pretty toasty, pretty toasty. Hey, and we got Grayson Nichols in the house. My friend, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. Hope the Cummins is running good. LBV says perfect timing. I just got off of work. Same here. It's like 92 degrees right now. Woo! So you got us beat. If I may ask, where are you from again? I don't know if you're from here in Cali or I forget where. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but that's hot. And that's just early spring too. So 2.5 men in the house. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome. They're asking where you stay. So I'm here in California. I'm in a town called Napa. So I went from Sonoma County to now Napa County. So that's where I'm at. We got Shaylin in the house. Much love to Shaylin. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well, and hopefully you find yourself with some beautiful weather like here in Cali. Shaylin says, God bless America. Trump guns and God is all we need. Right on, right on. We got Lucas. Much love to Lucas, man. Welcome. Says, sup, sup. And we got Wheel ZY. Says, hello, I'm from Indonesia. And you, where are you from, bro? So I'm from California, here in a town called Napa, Napa County. We got Powerpuff Princess in the house. Much love to Powerpuff Princess. I like that name. Says, make me a damn sandwich. I want a sandwich. I make some pretty damn good sandwiches too, if I may say. It's the perfect weather for sandwiches too. Seems like Nash has found himself a branch off of the redwood tree here. I'll show you guys old boy Nash here. He's the newest addition to the family. He's a chocolate lab pit mix. So it looks like he found himself a little twig or branch off the redwoods. Got a nice, beautiful row of redwood trees here. And this is the setup for today. So we're going to be working on the 028. This is my personal saw. It's a 028 AV Woodboss with the electronic quick stop. Got our beloved crocodile cloths here and a few tools and our pressure and vacuum tester so we can pressure and vac test the oil seals. And my favorite thing in the shop, or at least one of them, is my steel mat. So that's what we got rocking today. And while we wait to see if anybody else joins us today, a little backstory on this 028. I got this through a trade. This was my first saw that I added to my personal collection. I got it through a trade. I traded some parts. I basically got it for free. This 028 here. I know it runs. I do think it needs carburetor work, maybe some clutch work. It definitely needs chain brake work, but it's a very, very nice saw. Good condition. Very good condition. And I haven't messed with it since I got it. So no cleaning, no inspection other than test running it. It does have, the plastics are in good condition color wise. It does have some sort of stains on it, probably just from how they were storing it, but it just has some little splotches there of something. And on this side of the plastic, maybe stains from grease or something. But nonetheless, very good condition saw. So today I figure I have some time, and let me go ahead and let Nash in. He wants to go inside. Want to go inside? He's like, it's too damn hot out here. And so I figured since I have some time, I do have customer saws to work on, but I have a little time. I figured I'd just go through it and see what kind of condition it really is, and then give it a little cleaning as well. So go from there. Two and a Half Men says, I'm from Germany near Munich. Munich? Is it Munich? Munich, right? Either way, much love to you and everybody out in Germany. Powerpuff Princess says, I'm sure you do want a sandwich, hun. I'm more of a big boy than a hun. But anyways, I do. Although I already had lunch, so. Lucas says, weather seems nice. We have like a foot of snow here in Estonia. Whew, that's a lot of snow. I know out in Michigan they're still getting some snow out there. LBV says, Powerpuff Princess, make us a sandwich. Please, it's the perfect weather for some. It really is, though. You know, I'm a turkey or chicken breast kind of guy, or tuna. Tuna sandwiches are always great. Hey, we got Joey Bag of Donuts in the house. What up, Joey? Welcome, man. Happy Tuesday. I was about to say happy Monday. But glad you can join us for a little bit. Powerpuff says, my name is Powerpuff Princess. I'm not make anything for anyone. Ooh, that was a rough one. That was a rough sentence. Dirty Dan. I like that name. Dirty Dan. Welcome, man. Happy Tuesday. Was that the same chainsaw they used in the Texas massacre? It's not. I don't know. It wasn't. I believe, from what I've heard out there, the saw that was used was a pull-in of some sort, or pull-in. I think the right way to say it is pull-in. It was a pull-in of some sort. I'm gonna just say pull-in of some sort. But you know, chainsaw's a chainsaw, right? LBV says, so is he named Nash like Nashville? So that's my girlfriend's sister's dog, and I believe so, because they've been out to Nashville and they really like Nashville, and they want to go back out to Nashville at some point, and I want to go out there too at some point and check it out and do a little traveling. But I think so. So he's got a few nicknames, so like Nashville Hot Chicken, Nash Brown, Nash Taters. I call him either like, what do I call him? He should have been called Snapper, because his little mouth, man. Or Snatcher, because he'll just snatch things right out of your hands. Powerpuff Princess says, I meant making, as you probably figured. I did kind of figure that. I knew what you were saying. I just had to be a smartass. So anyhow, well, let's slowly start getting into this. I'm only going to be here for a little bit here, maybe until like 3:30, 3:45. After that, the missus is going to come home. We're going to go do some grocery shopping for our dinner tonight, which actually we are making. No, we're not making sandwiches. We're making like chicken salads, like chicken Caesar salad, and we're going to have some macaroni salad and potato salad. We were going to do Mississippi roast, but it's too damn hot for all that. Okay, so here goes the air filter cover. Really clean. So the guy that I got this off of, it sounds like he's a Husqvarna fan. Nothing wrong with that, of course. So he just had this thing sitting, and he didn't even know if it ran or not, and blah, blah, blah. And he does have other steel saws, I should say. 500i, which those are the parts that I traded for this. Some 500i parts. Definitely needs a new air filter. So we'll get that squared away at some point. We got 2XW in the house. Happy Tuesday. Says or asks, do you have gun and home, and what gun? So I don't have a gun, and I do live at a house right now. It's not my house, but so I guess my own house? No, I don't have my own house. So I guess at that point I don't have either. Powerpuff Princess says, subbed. Powerpuff, much love to you. Thank you for the love and support, and thank you for coming and hanging out. And for coming by with some humor. We definitely appreciate humor. We do humor here. We do some silliness. We just don't do like weird. Well, you guys already know. Interesting fuel filter in here. I don't think that's a steel fuel filter, unless it's a really old style steel, but I don't think so. I think it's just some proprietary fuel filter. We'll see though. LBV says, only reason I know of Nashville is because of the show, but I guess Nashville is like cowboys and farms and stuff. Yeah, so it's down south. So Nashville, Tennessee. We got our friend Zsult Hobby Barlangia. Anyways, says, thumbs up from Hungary. Much love to you, man. Thank you for joining in. Happy Tuesday. LBV says, do you have a dream chainsaw that you really want? So I've already had it. I ended up selling it when I started up the shop, just to reinvest into the business and buy parts and things that I really needed, because I didn't need a chainsaw at the time. And so my dream saw is a 500i. 500i's are my absolute favorite saws. Of course, I have many favorites. But anyways, the 500i is my favorite. Like if I can go buy a saw right now, or if I were to go buy a saw right now, it would definitely be a 500i. But I like a lot of things. 461s, 460s, 028. I mean, I like a little everything. But my favorite saw right now Like if I had to choose one chainsaw to live with and have for the rest of my life, 500i all day, all day. Powerpuff says Hungary. Hungary. Hungary? I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm just like hungry. Okay. Very clean. I mean, obviously it has a little bit of dirt and grime in there, but very, very clean. Oh, you know what? Let me turn off the Wi-Fi here. I always forget to do that, and it always affects the connection. So, all right. So I apologize if the connection was lagging. Powerpuff Princess says, I'm hungry. Just saying. You know, it's funny because even though I just had lunch, maybe what? Well, it was a while ago. It was a little over 2 hours. Either way, I'm usually ready to eat again in like an hour and a half. But I could probably go for a little something. But I got water. I've been doing my best to get my water intake back up because it's important for a lot of things. Especially now in the hotter weather, and I definitely have to stay on top of my water intake when I work out in the lumber yard. God forbid big boy passes out. That'd be kind of funny. Well, not too funny. LBV says, make me a sandwich, princess. You know, I bet Powerpuff, I'm going to just say Powerpuff because sometimes my words get all tongue-tied and all that. So I'm going to just say Powerpuff, if that's all right. I bet Powerpuff makes some bomb sandwiches. I mean, I feel like most of us make good sandwiches, but... Hey, we got Zach in the house. Says, right, catch me up. Where we at? What we doing? How are you? Zach, I'm doing good, man. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm happy to see you. I know you're a busy man with sports and school, and I know you don't get to come by as often as you may want to, but we're always glad to have you for any amount of time. And we're basically just getting going, so I'm messing around with my personal 028. It's the AV Woodboss. I got this one through a trade. This was the first chainsaw that I added to my collection when I got into chainsaws. I mean, I've always been into chainsaws, but when I actually started working on chainsaws and basically got hooked, I got it through a trade, which in the end I basically got it for free. I traded some 500i parts. And I do know that it runs. It does need carburetor work. It may need clutch work because the chain kept running, or maybe the carburetor just needs to be tuned. But I've never taken the time. I haven't taken the time to mess with it until now, since I've had it, and I've had it for, let's see, at least a year, maybe slightly over a year, and I definitely know that it needs chain brake work. And so right now I'm going to just do a quick general inspection, clean it up a little bit, and yeah, just hanging out with you guys though. It's nice and toasty here today. It's 81 degrees, which is the warmest it has been these past weeks. Okay. And this is the first time I've ever messed with a 028, so I'm definitely gonna be a little over here on the teardown, and just so I can study everything. Interesting. It has a clear line, which I don't know if that's OEM or not. My guess is that it's not. You guys can see it has. Oh, I almost knocked over the phone. You see that? Good save. So it has like a red, clear, transparent line, and then this is for the tank vent, I'm guessing. And this is actually, that's kind of a lie. This isn't my first time messing with a 028, but the first time that I came across an 028 was when I was working at the power equipment shop where I got started in all of this. And it was a customer saw. It was an 028 AV Super. So it's the 028 that has a slightly higher, slightly bigger displacement. And it was all taken apart. I mean, it was all taken apart. Handle housing was separated from the crankcase. It was just all torn down into pieces. And it was the first little fire that the first fire that I put out. Customer came in. I guess the saw had been there for well over a month, almost 2 months. And they basically just wanted to take it back so they can take it to somewhere else that could actually work on it and want to work on it. And it was sitting in a big green bin, plastic bin. And I was like, all right, well, here's your saw. And he's like, what? He's like, I can't take it like this. I said, what do you mean? I thought that's how he brought it to us. He's like, I can't take it like that. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, when I brought it, it was all put together. He's like, so I can't take it like that. And I said, oh man. And that's basically when I started working on customer saws when my position was sales. And so the 028 was the first saw that I ever messed with, reassembled. I had no prior experience or knowledge of the 028s other than knowing that they're really good saws. And I put it back together. So ever since then, the 028s just kind of held a special place for me in my little hearts, and now we got one. So, and one day, hopefully, I would like to add an 028 Super. That'd be pretty cool. And then that's basically it. Make me a well done lasagna. All right, Zach. Much love to you, man. We'll see you later. Powerpuff says I can make more than just sandwiches. I definitely don't doubt that. I'm sure you're a good cook. Make your own lasagna. Zach says, I'm an OG, I deserve it. And that's facts. Zach is definitely an OG here. And Zach has been along for the ride since the beginning of time. So the man definitely does deserve a well-made lasagna. And we have someone else commenting. I think it's Russian. I always say Russian. I don't know why, but I don't know how to translate that, but I'm just going to say happy Tuesday and much love to you and welcome. We're glad to have you. All right. So that was my first encounter with the 028s. And ever since then, I was like, man, I did some research and came to find out that the 028s are very, very popular and people really like the 028s. It was never considered a pro saw from my understanding and my research. And a lot of people, and I'm one of those, I think, too, that believes that the 028 was the inspiration to the 026, which now is the 261, which to me, that kind of makes sense. So anyhow, a little dirty there underneath the shroud, but very good condition. One thing that I really like is the nameplate here, or the model plate, model badge. Really good condition. The cylinder is has a little, I don't know what you would call that, corrosion, just from probably sitting in storage somewhere, wherever it was before us. There are some signs that it got a little warm at one point, but it looks very good. And now that I'm here, let me look inside the cylinder and see if I can see if there's any scoring or anything like that. You know what? Let me run inside and grab my flashlight because I don't have it out here. I'm a little unprepared. So 1 second, guys. Appreciate your guys' patience. Okay. All right. Had to go some stairs. Had to go upstairs, so I apologize if I'm a little out of breath. Going upstairs is always I'm not super out of shape, but it's always a nice reminder that I could be more in shape. But working out in that lumber yard is really going to help out a lot, especially now with this warmer weather. So right now I'm looking in the front, so on the exhaust port side, I do see some very light, very faint striations coming in, but nothing major. Still looks very good. Very good. The top of the piston looks good too. Not a lot of carbon buildup. Yeah, that's a really nice cylinder, at least on the exhaust port side. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the muffler, and then we can see the back of it, which would be the intake side of things. But as far as that goes, as far as the exhaust port side of the sleeve, it looks really nice. Looks really good. I'm gonna put the spark plug back in just so that way nothing falls in. All right. Good old water. Some water. All right. I don't have very big plans for the 028. If anything, muffler mod, timing advance. I do like the dogs that are on it, but maybe I could find some slightly bigger dogs. But the dogs on it are really nice. I like the style. They're 5-point dogs. But I don't know if I'm gonna port this saw or not, but I just kind of want to keep it as is for the most part. But I tend to change my mind a lot, so, but for sure a timing advance muffler mod. Is this a 2-piece muffler? It looks like it. I didn't know that. Let me grab. Oh, there we go. Wow, 2-piece muffler. I'm surprised. Okay. I know it's illegal, but we'll definitely go ahead and get rid of that spark arrestor. Oh my gosh, he's gonna take off the... Listen, guys, it's all right. Maybe open it up here a little bit. But let's see if that would be... There's actually enough clearance above the crankcase to where I probably could just open it up a little bit more here on the side and call it good. And it won't do any damage to the crankcase as far as getting hot. But there it is, a little 2-piece deal. I don't remember if Egan makes a muffler for the 028s. I know he does make one for the 026s, which my buddy Manny just got one for his 026 Pro, which is a new addition for him. He already has an 026, and then he just added that 026 Pro. I already worked on his 026. Very clean saw. I mean, the saw looks like new. I did a timing advance on it, and then he put the Egan pipe on it, or the muffler. But I just did a timing advance on it. It didn't turn it into a hot rod saw, but it did give it some more zip. This muffler's all rusty. If anything, maybe I'll see if I could find an OEM muffler and replace it. Because out of the whole saw, it's really the only thing that's an eyesore, cosmetic eyesore, but it's all good. So the exhaust port does have some significant carbon deposit buildup, which I could always just clean that up. So I'll show you guys the front here. I know it's got some dirt and grime, but it's clean. It's a really good condition saw. Really nice. The paint is in good condition. I mean, everything is nice. Let's check out the back side of the cylinder, and I can also get a better idea of the condition of the some of the deposit just flaked off. And that's probably why it has faint little striations coming in, because some of because the carbon deposit, the carbon might be flaking off, like this little piece here. Managed to get it. Yeah, it is flaking off. But the back of the cylinder sleeve, the air intake side, perfect. I don't even notice any slight striations coming in. The front of the piston, exhaust port side, does have some very light striations coming in, but that kind of makes sense because the sleeve itself is getting a little striated. But my theory is that it's just from the carbon in the exhaust port flaking off, and obviously that's not good. We got a friend, we got someone from Japan in the house. Says hello. Hello, my friend, welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you're doing well out there in Japan. Appreciate you being here for a little bit. Our friend Z-Zolt says, hello, you have a very nice machine. I also have a Steel 028 AV chainsaw. I love steel chainsaws. That's why I bought more machines. 064, 038, 034 Super, 036, an MS360, and an MS250. Sheesh. Excuse me. My friend, I appreciate the kind words. And that is a good collection right there. I would like to add a 038 to my collection at some point too. I know it's going to be a little challenging to find, at least one in somewhat good condition. But 064, that's a good one too. I mean, those are all great saws. Even the 250s, they're great saws. The 250s may not be professional models, but it's a good chainsaw. It is a good chainsaw. So that's a very nice collection, man, for sure. And I'm a big Steel fan too. You guys are, a lot of you already know that I'm a huge Steel fan, but I have love for Echo, Husqvarna. I mean, really anything that runs good. You know, I'm all for it. Unfortunately, Zsol also says, unfortunately, I don't speak English. I use a translator. I subscribe to your channel. Greetings from Hungary. My friend Zsol, appreciate you, man. Hey, the translator works just fine, my friend. It's all good. And I appreciate you for the love and support and for subscribing, and hopefully you'll be hanging out with us more in the future. So appreciate you. Brez 1969 says I can say chainsaw. Hell yeah. Brian Delaney, Brian, Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. Says show your workshop. So currently this is the workshop. Backyard on the patio table. So I did have a little mini workshop slash shop at the previous house that I was living at with my grandparents, but I recently moved and now I'm here at my girlfriend's and sister's house temporarily until I get my own place. Hopefully in the next few weeks. Just got to save up a little more cash. I just started a new job out here, working at a lumber yard, and it's also a hardware store where they also sell Husqvarna and steel. So that's where I'm going to be getting all my parts and really anything that I need related to chainsaws, and we get a nice little discount. So right now, currently, this is the workshop, but I did actually have a little shed shop at my grandparents' house. So, so this is it for now. But I'm also currently working on finding a place to rent just to work on chainsaws. So I'm gonna go look at that spot on Thursday. I don't want to say too much just because it hasn't happened yet and I don't know. But that's also in the works. Just because at whatever place I move into, there's a place that I'm thinking about moving into. It's just rent. I'm gonna be renting a room. I don't know how much they're gonna like or allow me to work on chainsaws there, especially running the saws, and that's really important for me. I need to be able to run it as well. So so that's why I'm looking into renting an additional place to work and run chainsaws. So, but soon, Brian, soon. Chainsaw says, what's up, brother? I'm right there with you. I inherited my grandfather's shop, which was nice. I built onto it, but we'll be leaving to get my own place soon. Hell yeah, man. No, and you know what? It's a blessing to have things like that, especially to have our grandparents in our life. But yeah, you know, it comes a time where, you know, we just have to, you know, move on to the next chapter and do more for ourselves. You know, it was very nice while it lasted. I definitely overextended my stay there. I was only supposed to be there for 6 months. 6 months turned into a year turned into a year and a half, and a year and a half turned into 2 years. And then it was just time to move forward, you know, move on to the next chapter. I'm 30 years old, about to be 34 if all goes well tomorrow. And so I'm definitely at an age where I should probably have, or not probably, I should have a little more for myself. But hey, man, you know, it's all good. You know, that's a blessing though. So, but soon also too, Chainsaw, you'll have something for yourself too, man. That's no doubt. So, okay. So coming back to the cylinder, looks really good. On the exhaust port, which I do want to get that taken of before I actually really start running this saw. It looks like the gasket is still there in good shape. And let's see, the muffler here, this one's going to be interesting to modify, which really I could probably just cut into it somehow. Well, not somehow, probably with a cutting wheel, and just modify the original muffler. And then since I do feel like I have enough clearance here on the side of the crankcase, I'll probably just open this up a little bit more there on the side. And again, I know that it's a no-no, especially here in California, but we need to get that spark arrestor out of there. And I know the spark arresters, really and truly, they don't make a huge difference in performance, but I guess I'm just the rule breaker and I like to take them out. I don't know. And I don't recommend anybody taking out their spark arrestor. do what you want, but don't necessarily follow what I do, because I will say right now, again, taking out your spark arresters, especially in certain states, maybe in every state, but if you're in California or just anywhere where they have strict laws on running equipment, you should definitely not take out your spark arrestor. That's it's not advised, and you're not supposed to, but that's what I like to do. So um, if you choose to take out your spark arrestor, um, that really is at your own risk, because there are some hefty consequences if something happens. So, for instance, you take out your spark arrestor, you're out cutting somewhere, and you start a fire. It's a big fine, possibly even jail time or both. Here in California, I mean, we're known for wildfires here, so it's like, I know I'm probably an ass for taking out my spark arresters, but that's just what I do. So just, you know, do as you wish. Just be mindful that it's very high risk, and it's a law. So anyhow, just had to disclaim that, because, well, I want you guys to be. I know I'm being a hypocrite right now, because I'm saying I'm taking mine out and kind of telling you guys not to, but I'm not really telling you guys not to. Just do what you wish, do whatever you would like on your own, on your own. Just, you know, now you know. So LBV says, I'm with you, man. We men just trying to find and make a way for ourselves. Exactly. We got Mateus. Mateus says, hello, my friend. You know, you know what? Hello, my friend. I don't know. Chicken butt? Hey, we got Yank Doodle Diesel in the house. What up, my friend? Welcome, man. Welcome back. Good to see you. Glad you can join us for a little bit. But most importantly, doing well. Like us here in California, beautiful day. It's actually warm today, and it's not just over 65. It's 81 degrees today. I have this little joke saying that us Californians, anything over 65, we're like, oh, it's kind of warm. It's getting hot. No, it's actually toasty today. But anyways, man, doing good. Hope you're doing good too. Just checking out our personal 028 here. I got this through a trade. I do know that it runs. It does need some carburetor work, so either a rebuild, a tune. It may or may not need clutch work. I just checked the cylinder. The sleeve looks really good. There's some slight striations coming in on the exhaust port side, but that's probably just due to the carbon buildup that's built up in the exhaust port, and it's slow. It's flaking off a little bit. The piston looks in good condition as far as the exhaust side. It does have those slight striations, but that's just from probably, I think it's probably just from the carbon that's chipping off and getting in between the cylinder and the piston. But other than that, really good condition, really nice. That's the front of the crankcase here. I mean, this saw is beautiful. It does have some paint missing, but for the age of this saw, I mean, this thing is a beaut. And I just haven't messed with it since I got it, and I've had it for a little over a year now. So, a shout, my friend. Happy Tuesday. Seafoam that bad boy. Seafoam? What the heck is seafoam? We also got Aguas Turbulentas YouTube. So, in Spanish, that means turbulent waters. So, turbulent waters in the house. So, Aguas Turbulentas. Hello. Buenas tardes. No sé si hablan español o inglés o los dos idiomas, pero aquí andamos. Yank Doodle says, just pop in for a minute. Hey, man, it's all good, dude. Famous words of Ground Pounder. He may or may not pop in right now or not, but like he says, he's here for a short time, but a good time. We got Donald Hill in the house. Donald, I'm pretty sure you've been here before. I think you were here yesterday, maybe, but I feel like I recognize the name, but I'm just going to say either way, welcome back. Glad to have you. Says, my Dolmar sax Sachs chainsaw finally gave up. I bought it in West Germany in 1981. I got my memory's worth. Dang. That's impressive. And hey, maybe I mean, I don't know how bad it is, and I don't know how easy it is to obtain Dolmar parts, but maybe you can do a rebuild on it, or maybe you could just keep it as a collector's piece at this point and just, you know, just keep reliving the memories. But man, that is awesome. That is freaking cool. That is really cool. Yang Doodle Diesel says that's me. Hey, all right. Let's go ahead and check out this clutch. Oh, and the other thing that I was saying, I do know it definitely needs a new chain brake. But everything on this saw, except these lines in the carburetor box, so the impulse line, it looks like, no, that's not the impulse line, maybe the return line and the fuel tank vent line. I don't know if those are OEM because they're transparent, and I don't know if steel ever did have transparent lines. But either way, original clutch cover, it still has the Oilmatic sticker there. Really good condition. Does have a little bit of paint chipping here, but no biggie. Wow. Look at that clutch setup, or that sprocket setup. Really nice condition. Did get a little warm at some point, but that's all good. All right, let me grab, I need a little flathead, and then let me grab my circlip pliers. All right. I believe that's what it's called, circlip. So let's go ahead and start by removing this clip, the washer. Oh, that's an interesting setup. Like I said, this is the first time I've messed around with this old of a saw. So I'm definitely going to take my time on looking at everything. I have put an 028 together before. That was the first saw that I ever messed with. It was for a customer. That was really before I started working on customer equipment, but they came in, they were upset because the saw had been sitting there for over a month, and they just wanted to take it to somewhere else that would actually want to work on it. And come to find out, one of the mechanics took it completely apart. I mean, I'm talking completely apart. It was in pieces. The handle housing was separated from the crankcase. Everything was taken apart. And, you know, I really do believe in customer service. So I said, hey, look, let me see what I can do. I'll do my best to put it together for you, and you can take it with you, because I was about to just give it to him like that, because I didn't know that it came in fully assembled. And he's like, I can't take it like that. He's like, because when I brought it, it was fully assembled. So I was like, oh, shoot. So that's why the 028 also holds kind of a special place in my heart. and then once I found out that these saws are very reputable, very good saws. Again, some people believe that the 028s were the inspiration to for the 026, and which makes kind of sense to me, but I really don't know. But anyways, so now we have one. Hey, we got Rad Dad Moody in the house. Rad Dad, much love to you, man. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for coming by and saying hello. Excuse me there. GP told us to go fuck with somebody on their channel, and you were my 5th swipe, declaring it random. So here I am. Yeah. Random, sure. I'm just kidding. Where's GP? Is he out there running around? I think he managed to be able to go out and do his side project today, which is awesome. It's always a, even though I'm not the one out there, but it's always nice seeing the man out there in the woods and cutting down some trees. I know he was going crazy there for a minute with all that snow you guys were getting. Donald Hill says mechanical feed screw on chain that some are really impossible to find or non-obtainable. And so anytime a customer would come to the power equipment shop that I was working at, or even to me, and they're like, do you think it's fixable? Do you think? And I always respond with, it just depends on if we could find the parts. And I mean, if you could find the parts, of course it's fixable. But it gets tricky when you can't find parts. Ooh. Kind of like the circlip. I feel like for this 028, I feel like if I damage this circlip, I feel like it's a specific size. I mean, obviously it's a specific size, but I feel like this would be really hard to find, so gotta be careful. Okay, so I have to remove the cover here. Interesting, okay. The head of the screws are really dirty, so my trusty pick tool here, you guys already know, this is one of my favorite go-to tools in my shop. Mainly for cleaning and for cleaning the head of the screws. For me, it's like one of those weird like OCD details. I like the screws to be clean. All right, so it's 3:03 here, so I got to get a move on this just because I got to go with my gal to the market, pick up some dinner stuff. As I call it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was definitely in that dubes. Rad Dad also says he ended his live just a few minutes ago. Of course he does a live. When I'm not around. Man. No, I'm just kidding. I know he does his best. I know the man is a very busy man. Everybody's busy, but some great live streams, I'm telling you. So for those of you that don't know who we're talking about our friend Ground Pounder. Super awesome dude, badass tree service guy, climber, just a badass dude, good guy. And the man does some good live streams, man. You never really know what you're gonna get. Even like us, obviously we do saw, we do saw work and stuff, but at the same time we do a little everything here, and we just kind of go with the flow. And so that's who we're talking about. So if you guys like a good time, good laugh, maybe check him out if you have a second. Just look him up as Ground Pounder. Good dude, out from the Michigan area. Or if you guys ever need some tree work and you're out in the Michigan area, definitely hit him up. Definitely. So right now I'm taking off the side plate so I can pop off this cover, which I believe they call them the chain brake dust cover. At least that's what they call it on some saws. Man, it smells like just old grease, and it's almost nostalgic, like messing around in Grandpa's tractor shed back in the 90s. So there's the side plate there. It's a nice one, not too flimsy. All right, let's check this out. This cover's nice, other than just being a little discolorated and a little dirty. But you guys already know we do like a dirty saw here. Oh yeah, that's right. So when I had to put together that 028, I had to put all this together. Look at that worm gear. I totally forgot that that's how these were set up. Very different. And right off the bat, I can see that the chain brake did in fact snap in the front. So that's also going to be an interesting fix. So it looks like I just have to remove this little clip, pull off the linkage, and then the new brake band just slides into place here into that little rod or little pin, and go from there. But man, look at that worm gear setup. I think that's pretty freaking cool. Donald Hill. Oh, LBV says, oh wait, man, I'm missing all these comments, and I apologize, guys. Rad Dad says, beautiful day there in sunny California. Chilly, windy day here in Mitten. Yeah, no, it's been great, man. Yesterday and today. So today, right before I started the live, we were sitting at 81 degrees, and it's warm compared to what we've been getting. But yeah, beautiful day, man. Beautiful day for sure. Blue skies, plenty of sunshine. The sunset last night was amazing. I was out here sitting here and looking at the sunset go down between all the trees that we have here. Really nice. LBV says, all right, got to get running. You take care, man. LBV, likewise, man. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit, and hopefully we'll see you soon on the next one. Donald Hill says, I just subscribed and liked. Donald, man, appreciate that. Appreciate the love and support, and everybody that takes time out of your days to come and hang out for a little bit, say hi, and really appreciate everybody. I'm always just, I'll never stop being thankful for everybody and allowing this YouTube journey for being the way that it's been. It's been incredible. So Rad Dad Moody says, I'm going to become a mod on this channel one of these days, I tell you. Hey, that'd be cool, man. You know what? I was thinking about it, and I think I may be ready to start looking for moderators. I mean, thankfully on our channel, I mean, I know we catch that wave of goofies every now and then, but thankfully I don't ever feel like I've never needed a moderator to like calm the crowd or our viewers. It's always been really positive, but I think it'd be nice to have a moderator or two. You know, I know it's tricky, especially when all of us have lives and things to do, but I think having a moderator or two is a good thing. So, like I said, I think I'm at that point where I do want to start taking applications. But Rad Dad, definitely, man. You're definitely what am I trying to say here? I'd love to have you as a moderator, man. So that's probably something that we should talk about one day. GP has mentioned it at one point, I think, too. Or no, mentioned that I did need one, but that was a long time ago. So, but yeah, I agree. Rad Dad also says, I'm trying to line up some work in my area for him, so up and make some loot. Not even for content, just to meet the guy and work with him. Hell yeah, man. And you know what? I think that's a great thing. I think if there were more of us like you and myself that believes in, you know, helping each other, coming together to work and just support one another, I think this world would be an even better place. Because that's what it's about, I think, is just coming together, lend a helping hand, support one another, most importantly, treat each other right, and just get it, man. Just hustle. So that's what it's all about, I think. Joey Bag of Donuts says, happy early birthday, bro. Appreciate you, Joey, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm about to be, if all goes well. And everybody, I'm sure some people are like, why do you always say that kind of stuff? If all goes well. Because, man, we're not promised tomorrow. And I'm just saying, if all goes well and I'm healthy to make it to see tomorrow, I'll be 34 years young. Sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and get this clutch removed. Clutch looks a little toasty, so it may need a rebuild. Looks like this spring here is a little corroded. but we'll see. We'll see right now. So that looks like, okay, let me see. Perfect. So I am Team Milwaukee. That's my preferred brand of, brand of choice. But I do a little DeWalt as well. This one I just had laying around when I first got started here. Wow, a lot of oil. The oil is probably just really dirty, but hopefully it's not motor oil. But being the age of the saw, I mean, that's what people did in those, and that's what people still do sometimes. It's gonna clean up nice. This saw's really nice. Sorry, I'm missing some of these comments here, guys. My bad. Donald Hill says, lawn care and tree crews down here in Florida are gearing up. Going to be a good season. Oh, man, I bet. I think everyone's going to have a good season, man. It's all about our mindset. Everyone's going to have a good spring and summer. There's going to be a lot of work. We got Dick Whitmore in the house. What up, my friend? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you find yourself with some nice weather as well. And either way, as long as you're doing good, that's all that matters. The man says Milwaukee is very good. Yes, I agree. That's my brand of choice. But like I said, I had this DeWalt Impact sitting in storage in my storage shed, brand new. It came as a kit, so it came with a little carrying bag, which I now use as a tool bag, and then it came with one battery, 2-amp battery, and a charger. And at the time, it just saved me money from having to go out and buy a Milwaukee, because I've gotten better at not buying things that I don't need to buy, especially if I already have something. But anyhow, yes, Milwaukee's very good. Dick also says bad connection. Oh boy, I apologize, guys. I turned off the Wi-Fi, so it should be. Hopefully, it'll get better. So let me know if it's still really bad. Dick also is asking, what are you trying to do? So all I'm doing is I'm just doing a general inspection of my personal 028 here that I got through a trade over a year ago, and I just never took the time, or really had the time between balancing customer saws and my personal projects, because I always put all of my customer saws and projects first before my stuff. And so I got this 028 Woodboss here. It's an AV Woodboss. Like I said, about a little over a year ago through a trade, and all I know is that it does run. It does need some work, so it needs some carburetor work, and it definitely needs a clutch, because look at this, man. Look at these retainers, or shoes. They're just, it's just, so it definitely needs some new springs, or if I could just find a new clutch, I'll just get a new clutch. But older saws, it gets tricky to find parts, but it definitely needs a clutch, because those springs are super loose. Looks like the clutch probably got a little warm at 1.2, which could have caused the springs to loosen up. Unless that's how these clutches are supposed to be, but I don't think so. So definitely get it a new clutch. So I'm just doing just a general inspection of it, just to see the true condition of it. Cosmetic wise, really nice. I think from storage, from wherever the man had it in storage, it got stained with some sort of oil or or chemical or something, so it made it turn a little brown. But everything is in very good condition. Very, very nice. The plastics are in good condition. No fading, no bending, hardly any scratches on it. Just a little dirty. My favorite part of the saw, the shroud. The model badge is in perfect shape. No scratches, no nothing. The muffler is really rusty and corroded. Probably, again, just from sitting in storage somewhere. Definitely needs a new air filter. It's all clogged up. The side plate is in good condition, just a little dirty. One little nick right here, but that could have just been maybe from running the chain a little loose or something. The chain brake cover, really good condition. Has some little nicks on it, a little discolored, but really good. And the rest of the saw is in really, really great condition. Like I said, the plastics got stained by something, but they're not discolored. The crankcase is in super good condition. The paint of it is really, really nice. I mean, of course, it just has some chipping on the bottom, but that's pretty common wear, I feel like. But everything else, really nice, clean. The handle is in great condition. I mean, it's just a really. I got really lucky with this saw. I got it through a trade. I traded some steel or some 500i parts, but in my eyes, I pretty much got this saw for free. Yes, 50 in Indiana. Okay, that's still pretty. That's still cool. That's still cool weather. Dick says it looks like it's being filmed on a Nokia phone with a cracked camera. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I am getting some glare from the sun, so that's probably not helping either. So I apologize. I apologize if the connection is bad or if the picture is bad. I'm getting a lot of sun right now. Although I do have the umbrella open, so it's making it a little better. Dick says, I have an 028. It's a great saw. Yeah, they're really good saws. From my understanding from the research I've done, when I first learned about the 028, a lot of people, again, believe that the 028s were the inspiration to the 026. So, which it kind of makes sense to me, but you never know. Hey, we got JC Lawn Care back in the house. My friend JC, much love to you, man. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. OI says Pessoal. Oh, it is de Brasil. Okay, so he's just, our friend here is saying that he's from Brazil. Buenas tardes. Ojalá que todo esté bien ahí con ustedes, ahí en Brasil. Y gracias por acompañarnos un tiempo aquí a ver qué está pasando. JC says, Woodboss? Yes. So it's an 028 AV Woodboss with the electronic quick stop. So it's one of the last versions that was sold before getting discontinued. And then, of course, there's the 028 Super, which I would like to add a Super to the collection one day. But yeah, it is the Woodboss. Okay, so the clutch definitely needs a little love. Maybe I can just replace the springs, or maybe I could just find a new clutch for it, because it did look like it got a little warm, a little hot at some point. But if I could replace the springs, I'm cool with that. So let's see. Check out that worm gear. The worm gear setup on this. Oh no, this is not the worm gear. This is the worm gear. Really cool setup on these saws. The worm gear, just visually, it looks good. All the teeth are intact and not damaged. The sprocket pinion also looks good. Interesting sprocket setup too. Look at that thing. Sheesh. Sprocket does have some wear on it, but I think it'll be okay. Check out that needle bearing. Man, that's like 2 needle bearings in one. I'll probably, if I could find it, maybe at my local steel dealers, or maybe at the place that I'm working at now, the hardware store, maybe they can order this part for me. Just replace it, just for good measure. What else? The little washer here. I don't know. It looks good. So that's basically all I wanted to check. I just wanted to check the basics. Really, I wanted to see the condition of the cylinder. It looks good. Some very slight, not slight, very faint striations on the exhaust port side, but the exhaust port does have the carbon buildup, so it's probably just from the carbon deposits flaking off and finding their way inside the cylinder. The intake side of the cylinder sleeve looks really clean. Not even any striations or marks or anything like that. So just a good clean. I know I said I was gonna. The title says inspection and cleaning, but just for my time frame right now, I'm not gonna have time to clean it up right now because I have to go grocery shopping with my gal here in a minute. So, but that'll be something for either later today or maybe tomorrow. Most likely, well, I go back to work tomorrow. So either way, it'll have to be for a different live stream. But the most important thing, the inspection, see what things look like, and overall, not bad at all. I think the worst of it is the carbon deposit buildup on the exhaust port, and oh yeah, and then the chain, the brake band, it broke off on the front, which is where it always breaks. At least that's what I've always found. It always snaps off in the front, probably from, I don't know, maybe just from being a little too hard on disengaging or engaging the clutch. I'm not sure, but that's where it always seems to break off from. So it needs a new brake band, clutch or clutch springs, either or, whatever I can find easier or the fastest. You need some carburetor work. Just needs a little rebuild, so a new diaphragm is usually the trick. And clean it and go from there. And the only real plan that I have for it is muffler mod and a timing advance. And that's pretty much it. I want to keep it as is. I do like the dogs that are on it, although it doesn't have outer dogs, so I may look, I don't know, I may look for different dogs for it, but it's not going to get used for anything right now, so there's plenty of time. I'm not really too worried about it. JC Lawn Care says, can you tell me the difference between an electronic quick stop? So the quick stop, from what I remember, I have looked that up, and I can't remember exactly what that means. It just means that it has like a, and if anybody knows, correct me if I'm wrong or help me out here. If I remember correctly, I think it's something like a centrifugal clutch style clutch where it, I'm not really sure. I can't remember right now. I don't want to say any false information, but it just has something to do with the pretty sure with the clutch. It doesn't have anything to do with the chain brake. Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering exactly what it really means. An electronic, or maybe the electronic comes from an electronic ignition, and the quick stop means that it just has a chain brake. I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure. I'm drawing a blank right there. That's a good question. If anybody knows, though, let us know before we head out, because that's a really good question. I'm definitely going to research that, and I'll let you know, JC. I'll let you know. because I promise you I have looked it up, but it was a long time ago. It was pretty much when I first came across the 028s, and but that was over a year ago, and I don't remember right now. So he ain't no chainsaw guy. Whoa, whoa, take it easy, guys. Take it easy, people. But anyhow, guys, that's pretty much all I have for now. I apologize that we didn't get to the cleaning, but I really wanted to take my time on the unassembly here on the teardown, just because, like I said, I work on primarily newer chainsaws, new chainsaws. So the 028 is currently the oldest saw that I've gotten into. Other than, well, no, I've worked on an 036, but this one, so I guess I worked on older saws like 044, 036. So I guess this isn't really different, but I feel like this is still earlier than the 044 and the 036. But either way, on saws that I don't work on too much, I do like to take my time, really study everything. So it just took a little longer. But for the cleaning, we're just going to hit it with the good old crocodile cloth. You guys already know that they are my favorite for cleaning. That's all I use. These guys right here. Great company, great team, great people that work for Crocodile Cloth. They're constantly showing us love on Instagram. I don't talk to them every day, but I talk to them on a weekly basis, and they're just good people. So I definitely support Crocodile Cloth as a company, and just the folks that work there are really cool. So I feel like they're really about their customers. So, and that's all I use for cleaning is literally small flathead screwdriver, just to get extra scraping coverage, a 45-degree pick tool. I don't have one right now. I need to buy some new ones. A small little skinny that has like the little end, the little tip, and then anyway, I'll show you guys later. Wire brush, air compressor, and then for the end, the crocodile cloth, and that's all I use. I also use Purple Power, but that's for clutches, chains, flywheels if needed, cylinder heads, for basically just metal parts. But for everything else, plastic and literally everything else, I just use crocodile cloths, and it gives it a really nice, good shine, really good on grease, and that's what I like. JC says, I got an 034 AV super electronic quick stop with a 25-inch bar. That's a nice saw. That's a good saw too. I don't have any experience with the 034s, but I do know that's a good saw as well. So, and like I said, I'll look up after the live stream what exactly the electronic quick stop is again, because I can't remember for nothing right now to save my life. So I'll look up what that means, and I'll let you know. That's ignorant, man. No, I'm just kidding. We got That's Ignorant in the house. Says, yo, what up, man? Hope you're doing good. Happy Tuesday. So, and That's Ignorant. My bad. I feel bad because we're about to take off here. But I'm glad you came in and said hello. Hopefully you'll come by to the next live, which will be possibly maybe later today. Or if anything, maybe, honestly, probably Saturday, just because I'm about to begin my work week tomorrow. And so I think Saturday might be the next live stream, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. So That's Ignorant says, was wondering about 2-cycle engine ring compressors. Oh yeah, okay. I can answer a question about those if I can. What did you want to know about them? JC says, and I got an 031 AAV. Okay. I have seen an 032 in person. They're not the most, in my opinion, they're not the best looking saw. All right, don't kill me now. Not the best looking saw, but I do know people really like those saws too. That's Ignorant says, do you have to squeeze with a specific amount of pressure? So you do have to squeeze it down. You do have to squeeze the compressor around the piston rings, just enough to where the piston rings are flush with the piston. And also too, if you didn't know already, I wish I had a piston here to show you, but actually I do. Let me grab it. Okay, so I'll show you here. This is very important, because even if you have ring compressors and you don't know about this or remember this very important detail, you're gonna have a very tough time and you'll probably end up breaking the piston rings. So this piston is brand new. It's from my buddy Alonzo's 440. But just to show you guys, so when you go and install a brand new piston, let's just say you already have it attached to the connecting rod, and you're getting ready to remount your cylinder head onto the piston. So before you go ahead and compress the rings, you have to make sure, so on pistons, you see this little dot right here? That's a little pin or a rod. So you want to make sure that your piston ring clears those points or that rod. So just like so. If I can show it, let me see. So the opening of the ring has to clear, so that rod essentially you want that to be in the middle of where it opens, because if you don't, the piston ring is not going to fully compress, and if you try to mount your cylinder head on it, you're going to end up breaking it. I've already learned the hard way. So like this is a double ring piston, so you want to make sure that all the rings clear that little rod, so that way it fully compresses. So that's very important. I've broke 3 rings because I didn't know about that locating pin. Yeah, or the locating pin. So you want to make sure, so just like that. So there's the opening, and it's clearing the pin. So essentially you just want your pin to be in the middle, or you just want that, you just want the rings to clear that pin. So once you do that, once you have them like that, then you can go ahead and put your compressor on there, and then you should be all good to go. And you just squeeze it enough to where it's all flush, and then you just go ahead and sit the cylinder head over the piston. And then another thing that I like to do, is if you have any oil laying around, not bar and chain oil, like actual mix, just go ahead and lubricate the piston all around the edge. Lubricate the cylinder sleeve a little bit, just so that way it's a little easier and you just prevent any damage. So but really the most important thing is clearing those pins, and you should be all good to go. So can you use Lysol compressor for chainsaw and weed eaters and stuff? I don't understand that comment, but those compressor rings, you can use them on anything 2-stroke or 4-stroke. So as long as it's the right size, you should be able to use those rings for most 2-stroke engines, 4-stroke I believe as well. So yeah. Hey, we got IBS in the house. It says it's better, not good though. That's Ignorant says, okay, awesome. All right, guys. IBS, I apologize. I don't know if you've been here for a minute or you're just getting here, but we're on our way out. I got to get ready for my girl to get home so we can go home. We can go and do some grocery shopping for dinner. So for now, guys, that's all I have for you. We went through the inspection on our 028, and then on the next live stream, we're going to do the cleaning, and I just have to buy some parts for it. So again, clutch or clutch springs, depending on which ones I can find easier. It needs a new brake band because it has broken, and it needs some carburetor work, and then I need to clean the carbon deposits on the exhaust port so they don't keep flaking off and causing those little faint striations like it's already causing. Very, very faint. I can clean up those striations, no problem. Other than that, the cylinder sleeve and piston are in really good condition, and that's really all we need. So that's Ignorant says, okay, awesome, appreciate your help. Hey man, anytime. That's what we're here for, is to try to help out as best as we can. Just like I like to think that you guys pick up a couple things from me. I definitely learn a lot from you guys too. So there's a lot of knowledge out there. We just have to share it with each other and help out, help each other out the best that we can. So but yeah, man, no problem, anytime. And anytime you need any help with anything, you could always you could either send me a message on Instagram if you have Instagram, or you can just drop a comment on a video or a post, and I'll get back to you as soon as I see it and I can. So yeah, man. IBS says you in love. She damn right. Alrighty, y'all. Much love to everybody. Again, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your day and life to come out and hang out with us and see what the heck I got going on. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you guys have some warm weather, enjoy it. If you don't, still get out and enjoy it. Life is good. And until next time, guys, peace. IBS says, I don't have anything but YouTube. Well, come on, man. Get with the times, man. TikTok, Snap, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. No, I'm just kidding. I only have Instagram and YouTube, and that's all you need. Well, that's all I need. So anyways, y'all, much love to everybody. Peace.